Welcome to the book reading of Obedience Over Sacrifice, Thinking Over a Decade. I'm the author here, Cornelius Epps II, and I've decided to share some of the suspense, the romance, the thrilling moments in detail that occurred in my life from childbirth. I won't bore you any longer. Let's get started here. I'm going to go ahead and go to chapter 1, Only the Beginning. It was in the summer of 1969, on the 27th day of August, a lighter-skinned African-American boy was born into an already established family of 5 boys and 1 girl. The ages of the multiple personalities, also known as my siblings, ranged from 18 down to 6 years old, and with no problem, from the day I took my first swallow of breast milk, our mother would be my #1 teacher by all means. If I wasn't witnessing one of my brothers getting his ass whooped, my mother Juanita would be verbally beating her kids upside the head with knowledge that was fitting for all our age brackets. And just as beautiful as her name, everyone loved this lady, known in the projects as Mrs. Harrison. Moms would raise all of us alone through conversation or with that double-edged sword called an extension cord. I recall a conversation with my mother who informed me of how active I was as a 7-month-old child. According to her, I would run my walker into the screen door attempting to get outside with the other kids. The gift of getting involved was immediately evident. Being the youngest of 7 and with a host of other people's kids, living in the Los Angeles housing projects called the Pueblos or the Bottoms, my people's skills as well as becoming a leader received nourishment through challenges that would prepare a child's mind for all aspects of life. They say a child's brain is like a sponge, and for this, I can reflect back to my diaper days to a time I witnessed one of my brothers taking a piss in the bushes. As soon as I escaped from my baby walker, I would pull off my diaper and head for the bushes, holding myself like it was the thing to do. As moms would explain it, one of the other parents would never fail to call her and say, "Ooh, Juanita, Dangerous Red done pulled off his diaper again." Yeah, that was a nickname the parent gave me for being a rough kid. Now keep in mind, I was only months new to this earth, walking to and fro with the older kids only to coexist with the ghetto's potential violence. I didn't realize until later on in life that the influence of too many individuals with unsettled lives did more harm than good to the structure of my thinking. I went from pissing in the bushes to playing hide and go get it in the bushes. And if you're unaware of the game of hide and go get it, it's a game with kids, boys and girls, looking for each other in hiding spots to do the damn thing. The nasty is what we called it, to introduce my guaranteed piece of ass named Cece, who would never fail me. You see, Cece was my next door neighbor, who was the youngest sister under Tina and Audrey. At the time, my nuts had aged and advanced in years, making me at about 6 to 7 years old. Cece was a year younger. She and I had this mutual understanding to always meet up at a location, hide, bone, and fight off the spider webs sticking to our asses. To go on, from the bushes to the closet, I found myself graduating to bigger and better games. It was during the evening on a hot summer night. Cece's mom had went out to a party with her friends, but the news of this was given to my brother Stevie, who shared it with me. From here, we let the games begin. Stevie escorted me to their spot at about 6 o'clock in the p.m. As he knocked on the door, pretty ass Audrey, who was 12 years old, would answer it, and hereafter would quickly leave us posted on the porch to run up the stairs. Immediately, Stevie was on her ass, and I was on his. When I reached the top of the stairs, Stevie and Audrey went in the same direction, while my king instincts led me to search in another room for my own piece of pussy. Happy I did, too, because lo and behold, when I entered the nearest room, Tina, the thickest and oldest sister, drew down on me by slowly removing her robe. After doing this, she graciously walked over to me, caressed my arm, and told me to close the door behind me. Awestruck, because Tina had titties and hair on the pussy. I was a kid working with kids my age. I wasn't prepared for the level she was working on. To explain, as she pulled me by the arm, Tina climbed up on the bed with her legs open, exposing her nappy head pussy. She went to my belt, then to my zipper. Softly speaking in my ear, she stated, "Little nigga, you know you can't tell nobody about this." Speechless, I could only nod my head in agreement with the thought, she must not know about me boning her sister in the bushes. After declothing my kid body, Tina gave me the instructions to climb on top of her. As I did so, she reaches and grabs my ding-a-ling and placed me inside of her. Wow, I thought, I ain't doing it in the bushes no more. After 30 minutes, then went an hour according to the digital clock sitting on her dresser. I found myself nearing an ass whooping if I didn't get home before the street lights came on. I was looking at Tina's face. Her eyes was closed while she held firmly to my little waist, only to toss me like a rag doll, to thrust my young crooked shaft in and out of her. Hesitantly, I complained that I had to be in the house before the street lights came on. Tina responds for me to shut up, adding with the statement that she'll come up with an excuse to give my mother, like she had cooked me something to eat. I further kept my mouth shut. About 30 more minutes went by. Tina releases my waist no sooner. I got up out the bed. I got back dressed, and as we exited the project bedroom, a quiet calm covers the cement walls in the hallway. I thought to myself, where's my brother Stevie and Tina's sister Audrey? I guess they were still at it. Nevertheless, Tina escorts me home. Not knowing that I smelled like pussy, and women have a keen sense when another woman's pussy's involved, I returned to the house. Not only during the after hours, but smelling like rotten cock too. I knew I was getting my ass whooped. Tina knocked on my door. Mom's answered, and as I entered the house, Tina tried to explain the cooking bullshit. I say bullshit because after Mom's allowed her to get her lie out, Mom's closed the door on her quick and demanded that I got my funky ass in the tub. Complying to Mom's orders quick, I ran my bath water, and I hoped she wasn't waiting to beat on the kid until after I got naked. A little time went by before I realized that I was cool. While I cleaned off my wanker, I soaked my young balls in the tub, and a new day was promised with a newfound wisdom or secret that today would be called child molestation.